This is the future. I'd like to make the introduction of my new 2007 Yamaha V-Star 1300. Now, as we all know, I had a 2007 GSXR 600 and I loved it, but I'm getting older and it wasn't that comfortable to ride anymore. So I figured, hey, I'll try this out. And what had transpired was I put the Gixxer up on Craigslist and it sold within 2 days. So a guy came out from upstate New York, bought the Gixxer. Now, he paid a reasonable price for it, a couple hundred under what I was actually asking for, but I'm not going to complain. Oh, backfire. And that led me on a mad search to find a motorcycle. And I actually found a Kawasaki Vulcan 1600 that I really wanted. And literally, the day I sold my Gixxer is the day he sold his Vulcan. And I told him before I sold the Gixxer that I wanted it, and he said he had someone lined up, blah, blah, blah. Well, that person came through. So, that left me without a bike. So I went on a search, and I found this. And it's not exactly what I wanted, but it's pretty close. I wanted a metric cruiser. I wanted something Japanese that I knew would be reliable. And I honestly can't afford a Harley because they retain their value. You can get a Harley with, 40,000 miles on it. The guy still wants 10 grand. So this is what was in the wheelhouse. And this is what I could afford. So this is what I got. And picked it up, trucked it home. And that's when I started noticing all the bad shit about it. Like, the back blinkers won't stay on. They're metal on the ends where the light is, and they become rubber before they mount up with the bike to absorb the vibrations, I guess. Well, they don't stick onto the rubber for some reason. There's no bolts going through the rubber or anything. I looked 1,000 times. I can't figure it out. So I tried everything. I tried RTV, I tried silicone, I tried shoe goo, I tried fuck's it called? JB Weld, and nothing's gonna hold them. So I'm gonna have to get new back blinkers eventually. That's okay. And I noticed the tires were flat. They needed to get replaced, and not that I mentioned this, but the bike only had 3,400 miles on it, being an 07, it's 2016. I'm surprised that it had flat tires on it, but regardless, with that low of miles and how long it's probably been sitting for, probably had a flat spot in the tire, regardless of it actually being worn flat. So, screw it. Get new tires. So the tires were $360, just the rubber, and then it cost me, man, $90 a tire to mount them. So that sucked. That was a hit. And then I decided that I didn't like the way the stock exhaust looked. It didn't sound good, but I really don't give a shit about sound. I just hated the way it looked. It looked like a whale penis. So I bought a Cobra slip-on, and the Cobra slip-on looks awesome. It's still a 2-to-1 pipe, which is but whatever. Super easy to put on. It's literally 4 bolts holding the old exhaust on, and to mount the new exhaust, it's 5 bolts. So I mounted up the new exhaust, and I noticed that it was backfiring a lot. And like now, you can hear it's fine, but as soon as I decel, that's all right. But you, like, once in a while, you'll get a really good pop, like a real backfire. And when I first put it on, it was more prominent. So I was reading online. Some people say, oh, that bike was just a slip-on. The stock computer can handle it. Just just reset the battery and then ride it like a day and it should adjust. Well, it didn't. So I bought a Cobra tuner. And the tuner doesn't really do much. I don't know if I'm just adjusting it wrong. I've never had one before. I wish I had a friend that knew what the fuck he was doing with it, because I can't figure it out. And the tuner has 3 pots. And basically you remove the seat, you remove the gas tank, and you plug the tuner into your fuel injectors, and then you unplug your O2 sensor. So it wasn't that hard. It only took me 20 minutes to put it in. And I put it in, and the stock pot settings are 131. They go from green, yellow to red, left to right, 131. So I rode around with it on 131, and it's still fucking backfiring, right? So I upped the middle one, because that's what they say. If you're having, oh no, the first one. If you're having popping still on D-cell, you need to richen up your first pot, the green pot, the low end. So I bump it up to 2, bump it up to 2.5, bump it up to 3. When I got to 3, it actually backfired worse, so I backed it back down to 2.5, where it was like the best, I guess, but still not really good. And like this, you have a lady on the side of the road walking her dog, right? I'm going to be the asshole that backfires his bike in front of the dog, scares the shit out of the dog. That shit don't, like, it's just not cool to me. So whatever. I fuck around with the tuner for a day, and I just can't get it to where I'm happy with it. Fuck that, we're going straight. And so I actually pull it out of the bike, I put it back in the box, I contact the seller on Amazon, and I request a return. Well, I read their policy before they even get back to me, and basically, if it's open, it's yours. If it's not open and you return it, you lose 20% for restocking. So, fuck it, I know I'm in the wrong, I know I opened it. It's clearly opened and used because the tuner got crushed by the seat a couple times, so it's got a couple scuffs on it. The plugs are white and they have some black shit on it. So whatever, I nut up, I put it back in the bike, takes me 20 minutes. That pretty much leads me to today. New tires, fucked up black blinkers, and the tuner and the exhaust. And the exhaust sounds good. It's nice, it's throaty, it's deep, and it's loud. A little louder than I wanted it to be, but it's not like overbearing loud. But it still fucking pops and backfires and shit, and I can't fucking figure out this tuner. And it's gonna drive me fucking insane until I do, and it's gonna probably take me the whole summer to figure out what fucking numbers to put this thing on. And I looked up in the forums what other people keep their settings at, but fun thing about the forums is that the Yamaha V-Star 1300 doesn't really have a big following, so the forums suck nuts. What are we doing, guy? And the only shit that I find on the forums is basically people that have either the closed loop system, which has the module for the O2 sensor instead of just unplugging it, or the people that have the Pro Tuner, which doesn't have any adjustments. You plug it in, it learns what's happening, and it adjusts. But the Pro Tuner was fucking $600, and my tuner was only $160. So I can't justify spending that much more money just because I put a fucking $200 exhaust on the bike. I don't know, man. So the bike itself is pretty rad. It's not super fast off the line, but it definitely has some power in the mid to high range. When I'm on the highway, I could do 70 to 90 in like a second. It really pulls. But I kind of wish that I had saddlebags. I kind of wish that I had a removable windshield. And the biggest qualm that I have about it is that the bike is designed with this thing called the drain cock. Yep, and the name almost is as real as how it fucking is. It's a fucking asshole. The drain cock is directly down the middle of the bike in the block, and it's a hole, and on the outside of the hole there's an aluminum plate with 2 screws that hold the plate on, but there's still a fucking hole out of the fucking block of my bike, right? So watch this fucking asshole, not even gonna fucking see me. Fuck you, go ahead, fuck you. Anyway, so so this fucking drain cock, I get it home from my first ride. I had to ride it for like 16 miles. I get it home and I look under the fucking bike and there's a fucking hole, right? And I don't know that this hole's supposed to exist, but there's a fucking hole. It looks like there's a drain bolt missing, and there's fucking oil residue on the hole, and then a single drip of oil. So I fucking Google basically V-Star 1300 oil leak, and what do I find? Hey, look at this fucking hole. It's called a drain cock. For some reason, Yamaha put this fucking hole in your motor, and it's always gonna leak. Some people it leaks coolant, some people it leaks oil. The one guy said, oh yeah, mine leaks 1 to 2 drips every 400 miles. Yeah, I don't want to fucking have to worry about oil when I'm out riding my bike. I want to know that the oil stays in my bike. Even if it's only 1 to 2 fucking drops, I'd rather it have 0 to 0 drops. So basically what I'm finding out is I bought a Jap Harley because the thing fucking leaks oil, and that really burns me, and there's nothing I can do about it. And the best part about it is that drain cock, since it's in the middle of the block on the bottom, it drips onto the back tire. Solid engineering. From what I understand, the drain cock is a release port for coolant and oil. So I don't know if I might have overfilled the oil a little bit, which I could have. I know that it calls for like 3.7 quarts with the filter change, and I put almost 4 in. If I had to guesstimate, it'd be like 3.9 quarts. And the reason why I did that is because that's where it showed on the sight glass that almost full was. You have the low limit and the high limit. Under the high limit, but definitely over the minimum. There's a backfire. And so it fucking leaks. I read online that some people only fill their sight window like 70% to the top fill, and that supposedly helps with the leaking. I don't fucking know. I'll try that next time. Bike's supposed to take 20 weight oil, 20 W40, and I put 10 W40 in it. So that's a little bit thinner, so maybe the thicker oil will help a little bit. And not leak as much. That'd be really fucking dope. But who knows? Because it probably is still going to drip. And at this point, I'm thinking about just plugging it, which is stupid. Putting a paper towel in it and just changing it every time I go riding. So basically my bike's gonna have a tampon. Which that's fucking dope. But yeah, it's comfortable. That's a pro, like a super pro. This thing is so goddamn comfortable. I can't lie to you. It is probably the most comfortable thing other than not having a windshield. It's at highway speed, so windy, and I didn't think anything about it because the GSXR didn't have a windshield really, you know, so you were basically out in the wind. But now that I think about it, something smells like burning electric. Hopefully it's my bike. On the GSXR, you're in like a push-up stance, so you're more aerodynamic and your knees are kind of bent backwards, so everything's more aerodynamic. This, it's like you're sitting in a recliner chair going through 70-mile-an-hour wind with no windshield, which is fun. But yeah, I will buy a windshield eventually. I will buy saddlebags eventually. Unless I flip the bike. Now that I did all this little shit to it, I could probably flip it, make some money, or at least recoup the money that I put into it, and buy a different bike that doesn't fucking leak oil. That'd be nice. But who knows? It's really smooth riding. The only mechanical thing that's weird, and it's probably just the style of bike, is that I always get fucking stuck between first and second gear. I always kick it into neutral, and it doesn't matter if I'm going up or if I'm going down. I fucking get stuck through the gear, I wind up in neutral, and I sound and look like a dumbass. And that really fucking burns me too. But it's pretty neat. When I first got it, like I said, I had 3,400 miles on it. And I figured, because the guy that I got it from was an ogre, that he probably never did an oil change on it. So, there's a backfire. So I fucking did an oil change on it. And the fun part about the oil change is that the fucking filter wouldn't come off. So I drained the oil, no problem. Oil didn't actually look that terrible. It was dark, but it wasn't the worst oil I've ever seen. And then I go to drop the filter, and the fucking thing won't come out. So what do? I go and get a filter wrench, and I hit it with the filter wrench, and yeah, you can't fucking get it out with like one of the plier style ones. You need one of the band style ones. So I go, and I get the band style one. I go buy one, try to undo it. The thing fucking bends the first turn that I even attempt. So now what do? I don't fucking know. So you know what I do? I get one of the caps that go over the end of the filter, and you know what happens there? I fucking break the fucking thing. First turn, break the middle out that connects to the ratchet, and now I'm really fucked, right? So what do? I broke in 2 tools. I don't know what to do, so I took a screwdriver. I popped the fucking hole in that bitch with the screwdriver, and I started to spin the screwdriver counterclockwise to hopefully remove the filter. And you know what the filter does? Yeah, you fucking do. If you've ever tried that before, the filter fucking tears. So now what do? I'm stuck there with a bike with no oil and a giant gaping hole in my filter. Yep, you guessed it. I'm gonna go in there with a fucking set of like vice grips and try to like grab onto something, anything, and twist that bitch. And that's what I did. I fucking twisted that bitch, and it took me 2 hours to get this filter off. I finally got it by grabbing it with the vice grips and twisting that bitch. And I don't know if you could tell by the connotation in my voice, but it wasn't very fun, and it was super stressful, and I thought I ruined my brand new motorcycle. But yeah, got the fucking oil done. Everything's pretty much squared away at this point, minus that fucking oil leak and the fucking blinkers. So I'll figure it out. I'm sure I will, minus that fucking oil leak, because according to the forums, you could pay Yamaha to pull your fucking bike apart and pull the engine out of it and break your case in half and basically do a total rebuild just to stop 1 or 2 drips of oil every 400 miles. So yeah, I'm not gonna fucking do that. I'm gonna deal with the oil, and I have no way to carry it since I don't have saddlebags, like extra oil. So that's my dilemma. Thing's pretty sweet though. I still don't really know what kind of fuel to put in it. I think it says 89 or better, so that's plus or premium. And I've been putting premium in it, and I actually did 1 tank of plus just to see if that would stop the backfiring, which I know is stupid, but fucking try anything. So I try it, and yeah, it still fucking backfires. And it's not very fun, because I don't like to be a dick. It's too loud and scary for dogs and children. That's just not cool. But you could tell, things got fucking power, and it's only 1,300, which I thought is pretty awesome. Oh, side note, back to the backfiring, something else I googled and found out on the shitty forum. basically, there's a technology in my bike for emissions control called AIS, and I'm not 100% sure what it does, but from what I get out of the internet is that it injects air into your exhaust so that you can pass emissions, which that's why it fucking backfires. And I know when I had the stock exhaust on, it growled and popped, but it was muffled because it was a giant fucking muffler. And this muffler pretty much doesn't have anything in it, so it lets the pop out. Forgot to mention, this thing is nimble as fuck for being so big. I miss having the Gixxer because I used to be able to just pull my bike out of the fucking garage, like super easy, turn it around, and push it wherever I wanted to push it. This I could barely push. I know I'm gonna drop it. I almost drop it every single time I leave the house trying to get it out of the garage. So, it's a big bike. It's a heavy bike. I think it's 700 pounds dry. But look at that lean angle. I'm fucking low as hell. And it doesn't care. Like, it loves it. Even when it had shit tires on it, it just gets down in the turn and sticks it really well. Really well. And I actually think I scraped the floorboard. They have like little feeler nuts on the bottom of them. And there's one that's scraped and it's fresh looking. There's no rust or anything on it. So, I mean, maybe I scraped peg on it. I don't know. I mean, it's a whole new thing. But the heel shifting's real weird, man. Real weird. Why would you ever downshift with upshift with your heel? I have to like look and make sure it's placed right, or else I hit the kickstand. This is really, really weird. Oh, this fucking bike didn't have a back seat when I got it. The guy that had it took the back seat off and lost it. So the back fender just had nuts sticking out of it. It was the grossest goddamn thing. I couldn't go another day with it like that. So I actually, I went on eBay and I found on eBay, not only was I missing the back seat, I was missing the brackets for the back seat. So I found the back seat, the brackets for the back seat, and the actual screws that mount it. If I were to buy that on a site like Bike Bandit, which is a great site, if you're missing a fucking bolt, you could look at the schematic and they'll send you a bolt, a screw, a washer, OEM, no problem. But I found it used on eBay from a 2009 V-Star. Guess how much money? $50. Free shipping. You know how much it was on Bike Bandit? Just the seat, not even the brackets or the hardware. $289. $289 fucking dollars. That lady looked at me real funny. Maybe it's the dual sport helmet on a cruiser. Maybe that's it. But, yep. That's how much money you save when you eBay things. And it's funny because all of their competitors on eBay were selling the same thing for so much more money. They were selling the back seat without anything. Just the back seat. No mounting hardware, no brackets. $100 to $150. Which, if you think about it, isn't really that much money when it fucking costs $289. That's fucking nuts. But yeah, I thought I did pretty good there. I gotta fuck with the low end, man. I've stopped 3 times on this ride to tune it. This time it feels almost good. I only get 1 backfire on downshift now instead of like 3. So I'm afraid to fuck with it because it's pretty goddamn good. I'm gonna try to richen up the low end. See what happens. Wide turn. This is where we work on our car. We lock the keys in, but we're gonna do it here in the street because that's how we do. God damn, this is gonna be a super long video. I don't even give a shit.